Hello, my name is Heidi. I am subbing for Gail for today's chair yoga for fall prevention class. And so today in class, you'll need a chair and a wall or two chairs. You can use a block and some sort of strap, a yoga strap, a belt, a TheraBand. This is a Muay Thai band. So, but you can also use your hands, so you don't need those for sure, just if you want. Okay. So, glad that you've all joined and are taking care of yourselves today. It's very important to take some time for ourselves. We'll begin the class with some centering and a little bit of warm up for our joints and our muscles. And then we'll go into some of the typical, a couple of yoga moves and some of the typical things that Gail usually does in this class. And then we'll bring it back down with breathing, meditation, and gratitude. Okay. So for this first part, you can either be seated or standing. Either way, you want to sink down into your support. So that might be the floor if you're standing, right? Maybe sinking into your heels, sitting down into your seat, nice soft knees, engaged in the legs, but nice and lengthened up. And I'll go more into the upper body when I sit down. If you're sitting down, then you just want to let your feet reach down into the floor, your seat into the chair. For everyone, we want to lengthen up through the torso. Want to feel our torso stacked on the hips, shoulders stacked on the torso, and the head stacked on the shoulders. Nice posture with the shoulders up, back, out, and down. So nice and strong, whether seated or standing. Nice and strong up to the armpits, and then release shoulders, neck, and face. If it feels safe for you, you can close your eyes. You can also cast your gaze down to the floor or just soften the gaze. Trying to breathe soft, smooth breath. Seeing if perhaps you can feel your belly expand as you breathe in and release as you breathe out. Drawing your awareness into the sensations of right here, right now. Your mind will naturally want to move to other spaces, to other times. But just try to draw that awareness back to the right here, right now. And then if you've closed your eyes, you can go ahead and open them. We'll start with some arm swings. So we want to cup the hands and just bring the arms back and forth. It could be a little, it could be a lot, right? You can do this standing or seated. I'll do a little of both. I'll go back and forth. Just always trying to keep that strong base, that connected base. Just opening up the shoulders, getting a little bit of movement, blood circulation through the arms. And then letting that slow down. We'll bring our arms out and just do some wrist rotations. If you want to challenge your brain, you can do wrist rotations and rotate them around each other. Okay, that's a little, this is just rotating the wrists. This is rotating the wrists and rotating around each other. Then wherever you are, go ahead and do that the other direction. loosening up the wrists. And then shaking the whole arms out. We'll move down to our legs. So if you're standing, you can either lift your foot up off the floor or put your heel on the floor. Okay. You want to be sinking down, right? That same sinking down, feeling like you're in your heel, using the thigh and the glutes to hold you up. If you're seated, then extend the leg out. I'll back up a little bit because it looks like my foot's going off the screen here. All right. And we'll point the toes and flex. Point and flex. It doesn't matter which leg you start with, right? We'll do both. I'm gonna, like I say, move up. Don't move back and forth with me. You pick one spot. You can always change your mind, but try not to go up and down, up and down, up and down. Pointing and flexing, pointing and flexing. You can even lift it way up off the floor, right? Even if you're seated, you can do that. And then shake it out, shake the legs side to side. Sink back down, right? Rising up, same if you're seated. Right? Now we bring the leg, that same leg out and rotate the ankle one direction. And the other. So especially when I'm seated, but also when I'm standing, I start to sink down. So just try to keep rising up. And then we'll shift to the other side, whether you're shifting to the other side of the chair, seated, or shift to the other side of the chair standing. Then we, if you're standing, sink down into that heel, make it your standing leg nice and strong. You can have your heel on the floor or up off the floor. We'll point and flex, point and flex, point and flex. You can do this seated as well, heel on the floor or heel off. We release that foot down, shake the legs out, right? And then sink back in and we rotate the ankle one direction. And the other. And release down. Shake those legs out, swing them out, whatever it is you need. Even if you're sitting, right? I like to do this little thing, right? Shake them out, pat them out. So now we're going to open and close our knees, getting movement through the knees. So we want to sink down again into that heel, into the seat. If you're seated, you want to press down with your seat and lengthen up. We all want to be lifted through the torso. And then we'll straighten the leg and bend the knee, lifting it up a little bit, reaching out and in. If you're seated, I'm going to sit to the side so you can see how I'm moving. It's nice and straight and tall. I'm trying at least. Right? Opening and closing. You'll also feel this in the thigh, but we're working with that joint. Properly functioning joints, really important for fall prevention, right? We don't want them to get stuck. And then if you're seated, you might, well, if you're in the center of the chair, you're fine. If you shift it off, you can shift to the other side. We'll do the other side now. Bringing the leg out and in, extending and compressing. You'll feel extension through the back of the leg. You'll feel compression in the knee and maybe even the hip flexor if you're going way up. Sitting into that heel here. Always standing by the chair or the wall. when you need to. So if you needed to shift to the other side, that's fine. And then we'll come on down. Now we'll work more with the thighs. So it's a marching movement. You want to have your core engaged. So if you're standing, that might be tucking in the tailbone just a little bit. If you're seated, it might be tucking in the tailbone or pressing the seat down into the chair. Okay. You can go way up. You can go a little bit up, right? Do what works best for you. Because look, right here, we're shifting our center of gravity, shifting our weight from one foot to the other. So we're already challenging that balance. And then we stop. Now we'll let those legs stretch out a little bit by swinging them. Now on the chair, it's a little hard to swing. So you can step forward and back, right? You might want to hold on to the chair. I'm leaning here. Try to sit up as much as you can, but forward and back. Standing, I like to do the leg that's next to the chair. And I just swing forward and back, forward and back. Be careful of what's behind you. You can go diagonal too, if that feels better for you. Just loosening up that hip. And then we'll switch to the other side. So if you're seated, you can switch over to the other side if you're stepping forward and back. Nice engagement in the abdomen, nice length through the sides of the torso. And now I'm going to sit down. If you really like to stand through this, you can go ahead. But I'm going to engage my legs. I want to make sure that the chair's behind me. A little earlier in a class today, I was a little off center. Ooh, and that was not fun. So we make sure we can feel that chair behind us, engage the legs, and sit carefully on down. See if we can sit quietly. Okay. We bring our shoulders up, back out, and down. We reach up. When we reach up, we're not using our shoulders to reach up. We're using that space between our seat and the armpit, right through the sides of the torso. Tucking in the tailbone, so we have a nice strong abdomen, and then we bring the arms back. And then we'll bring both arms forward. Okay, we'll bring our fingers down and up, down and up, down and up. One more time, down and then up. Spread those fingers wide and then rotate the arms all the way up to the shoulders, reaching, expanding through the insides of the arms. My shoulders want to round forward, but I'm going to try to bring that sternum up, bring the shoulder blades back. And then we shake it out, wiggle the fingers, flick the fingers, and come back into that position, this time rotating the arms all the way up to the shoulders. Palms are flat. We'll move moving just the wrists, we bring the fingers out and in, out, and in, out, and in. One more time, out. And the fingers come forward. First two fingers to the thumb, elbows in, shoulders and shoulder blades down. And now, just like we were opening and closing the knees, we're doing the same thing with the elbows. So here, a lot of people like to bring their elbows up, and that's fine as long as it's not just bringing them up like you're scooping something, right? As long as you're closing and bringing them up. Closing and opening is important. Probably not for fall prevention, but for general health, right? Okay, then we'll bring our arms out, dropping the shoulder blades, bringing the shoulder blades in toward the spine. We Externally rotate the arms and internally rotate. Bring the backs of the hands together. Next time the arms are out, then bring those arms down. And now we'll externally rotate the hips. So step to the side and step back. Still trying to sit up nice and tall. Trying not to lean, because that's what most people do, but you try to let the hip open up. So you can do this standing. For anybody who chose to stay standing, you can still do this standing. It's easier sitting to focus on that internal and external rotation. Now we'll go to the other side. Externally rotate the hip, bring it back in. One more time. Now, if you're sitting, you can bring your legs straight out. Make sure you're not like I am right now, kind of rounded, right? Press down through the seat and lift up. Standing, if you choose to stand up or if you stayed standing up earlier, you want to sit down into that heel, have that soft knee, that nice strong muscles in the legs. And then you can bring your toe to the floor. No matter if we're seated or standing, we're going to work right here with the hip, internally rotating it and externally rotating it, keeping this one still, internal and external. It might be easier, right? You might be like, oh, my balance is good enough that it's easier for me to come up off the floor, right? It's harder when I'm tied to the floor like that. So just find the place that's right for you, internal and external rotation. A little bit different than what we were just doing, because we're just going around, sort of around the joint here. And we'll put that leg down, whether you're seated or standing. If you're standing, you could, if it's easier, to move over to the other side of the chair, that's great. You can do it, or you can stay on the same side. Sitting down, you want to stick that leg out, and internally and externally rotate. Standing, sink into that the standing leg, and we internal and externally rotate. Foot can be up off the floor, foot can be on the floor. Then we bring that leg back down. We want to find a strong position where we're sitting into the heels, nice soft knees. If you're standing, you're tucking the tailbone a little bit for a strong abdomen. If you're seated, you're either tucking the tailbone or pressing the seat down into the chair. Everyone's lengthening up. We bring the arms out wide. I'm going to move my chair a little bit. You can step forward. I didn't want to step forward too much because I didn't want to go off the screen. But bring the arms out, drop the shoulders and the shoulder blades, and then start making circles, like you're drawing circles with the tips of the fingers. And it's not about the arms, it's about moving your torso in all different directions. So if you're like, oh, my arms hurt when they're like that, do it like this, right? Doesn't matter. But just make sure you're moving the torso in all different directions. And then, like Gail says, we do our brain work, which means we go the other direction. And notice where you feel this. Like today, I'm feeling this really in my low back. Sometimes it's more in my waist, right? Depending on what I did yesterday. Good. Shake those arms out. Then have that nice strong position. So we're going to do hula hoops if we're standing. If we're seated, then I'll show you how to rotate. So standing, just do little hula hoops in one direction. Seated, place the hands on the thighs, lengthen up, and then rotate in a circle. Okay. And so whichever one you choose, we're still going that first direction, loosening up the hips. And then we switch the other direction, whichever one you chose to do. And we come back. So now, for this next movement, we're going to work with our hip flexors. We're going to want a nice flat back, right? We're not rounding. We're doing that. Okay, so only go down as far as works for you. If you're seated, then you just move your feet a little bit wide. You press your seat down, lengthen up. If you're standing, you want your knees soft. You want to sit back into those heels, tuck that tailbone. Everyone's going to bring their shoulders up, back, out, and down. And then bring the shoulder blades in toward each other. You can have your hands like swept back wings. If you want, you can bring them out or up like a V, or some people even do this. But when I do this, my shoulder blades move away from each other and I don't feel strong anymore. I feel rounded and sad. So find that place where you feel strong. Any of those positions I just showed, right? Then we hinge right at the hip creases. I'm turning, you don't need to. If you're standing, you'll probably want to bring your seat back a little bit first, but then everybody hinges right at the hip creases, nice flat back, top of the head forward, arms back. We inhale, come on back up. Exhaling down and inhaling up. Moving right at the hip creases, that inguinal crease. Perfectly fine to do this seated or standing. It works both ways. And then we come on back up. Bring the hands to the lap, whether you're seated or standing. And then we take both hands, turn the torso, and bring the arms up and around. If you're like, I'm going to move so that everybody can see my hands. But if you're like, oh, my arms don't go up that high, do as much of a rainbow as you can, okay? So maybe it's a little rainbow. It's still beautiful, right? Or maybe it's a big rainbow. Just going one direction. You can do this seated or standing. Trying to turn, right? If you're standing, make sure it's not the knees that are turning. It's right here that's turning, right? One more time, and then go the other direction. One more time. So now we'll do a little dynamic movement. So for balance. So a lot of times balance can be stationary, right? How can we balance when we're just standing? But a lot of times it's moving. So we're going to step heel toe to the side, heel toe to the side. So if you're seated, you can stand up. If you're like, I just can't do that, then just shift the weight and shift the weight, okay? But this one is best done standing if you can. Right? I'm kind of going down and up a little bit. You don't have to. But you do want to feel it more in your legs than your knees. You do want to be doing heel toe and heel toe, right? Not clomp, clomp, but heel toe, heel toe. If you want to add some arms, you can add some arms, right? That adds a little bit of challenge to it. If you want to go wider, that adds challenge to it. Okay, we'll do one more on each side. And then come back to center. Now we'll want our feet about hip width apart. Pressing down. If you want to sit back down, you can, and you move to stand up, go ahead and sit back down. Tuck that tailbone, lengthen up. We're coming into our Tadasana, our mountain pose. Reaching down into our support, lengthening up toward the ceiling, the sky. We'll bring one hand down, externally rotate the other one, and lengthen up. Where we want to lengthen is from the bottom of the foot all the way up to the armpit. That's where we want to feel the lengthening. We also want to keep this shoulder as open as we can. Everything we do is as much as we can, whatever works for our body. And then we come on back down, go to the other side. Externally rotate the arm, press down through that foot, lengthen up. If you're like, my arm doesn't go up, guess what? You can still get that stretch. Notice that nothing else changes. I'm only putting my arm up. But I'm still feeling that stretch. Even when my arm comes down here, I'm still feeling that stretch through the waist, through the legs, all the way up through the armpit. And we come on back up. Now we'll do a back bend. So if you're seated, then you are going to want to tuck your tail in or press it down into the chair, lengthen up, and bring your arms back behind you, maybe holding on to the chair, okay? Then those shoulders back, the sternum up. If you're standing, it's a little bit different because we don't have support, right? So we want to bring the hands to the seat, to the pockets, not way up here. Elbows back, pressing everything down, tucking that tailbone. Just like in the chair, we want to lift up through the sternum, bring the shoulders back. Now, both in the chair and standing, we're liable to bring that belly forward. So we want to bring our seat back into the hands into the seat, and lift the sternum. Okay? Not a belly forward, it's a back bend, lengthening as much as you can through the whole torso. And then we come on down, shake it out. So we're going to do some sit stands. So for some people, it's best to have the chair up against the wall. Okay, so if you feel like that's a little more stable for you, then go ahead. We want to find the chair behind us, just like I was talking about earlier, right? Engage all of the big muscles in the legs and sit carefully down. Okay. If it feels safe for you, cross at the wrists. Okay. Hands on opposite shoulders. If that doesn't feel safe, put your hands where they are safe. I know that sometimes Gail has you have a chair in front of you. So if that's what feels safe for you, go ahead and do that. I'm not going to do that so that you can still see. Okay. And we're just going to press down, stand up, and sit down. Just going as quickly as you can, right? You don't have to go the pace that I go. You can go faster or slower. So this is good practice for getting up out of those booth seats at the restaurant, right? Or when you're on an airplane, like it helps you get up without like pulling on the seat in front of you. All right, 2 more times. And we sit down. Now we get to stay down for a little bit, okay? Bringing the shoulders up, back out, and down. We'll externally rotate the arms and bring them back, lifting up, opening up. And then we'll close the arms, wrap them around. Give yourself a hug. Notice which arm is on top. It's foreshadowing, okay? And then bring those arms out again. Lift the chest, open up. Inhale. Exhale, put the other arm on top, whichever one was on the bottom. Now you've caught me if I am doing it wrong because I don't remember. Inhaling, whenever you inhale, you move, you open up, and whenever you exhale, then cross the arms, give yourself a hug. Trying to alternate which arm is on top, moving with your own breath. We'll do two more times, one more time, each arm on top, okay? Really trying to open from the sternum to the shoulders, and then trying to reverse that, just feeling that squeeze in, and we let the arms down, shake them out. Shoulders up, back out, and down. Find this nice, strong position. So now we'll grab, if you have some sort of strap, you can grab it. So I know there's a number of different ways she has you do it. The point is, so you can use your hands, right? The point is we're just trying to evenly move the legs out. Having this area strong is really good when we have those knees that kind of fall in, right? We want this nice and strong. So that's what that does. So since I have this one, I'm going to tie it. If you have a yoga strap, you probably know how to buckle it. If you're using your hands, just try to be as strong as you can, right? If you have something else, this isn't quite enough for me. There we go. You know, I think I might just hold onto, well, yeah. Well, sorry, you have to watch this. I'll have to find my yoga strap. I'm just going to hold on to him. Okay, so now evenly try to press out. What you want to feel is that engagement through the sides of the hips, through the sides of the thighs, pushing out. If you're using your hands, push your hands in and the legs out, right? Use them against each other. I'm kind of doing that by just holding this because this wouldn't stay. Yeah, it's a slippery strap. Great. And then we do one at a time. So we bring one leg in. So this is like the clamshell, right? So our feet are kind of together and we bring that leg out. So I'm going to tighten this a little bit. Again, if you're using your hand, then just push, push, push. Push the leg in, pull the hand in, right? You don't want one to outweigh the other. And so once again, you can feel this like, woo, right up the side of the hip, into the glutes. We bring that leg back in and now clamshell on the other side. So just that leg moves in, we're moving kind of at a diagonal so that this leg is just holding on, right? It's just trying to keep from pulling with that leg. It's staying still. This one is trying to pull out and then your strap holds it in. Your strap or your hand. You might find that one side is weaker than the other, or one side feels this more than the other. It's great information to have about your body. And then we'll bring it back in. Now we'll try to strengthen the inside of the thighs. So once again, if you have your gear, if you have a block, that's great. Otherwise, you can use your hands to press out as the legs press in. So you can put your block on this or whatever you have, right? If you have something else that's similar, a book or something, that's fine too. You can squeeze in, just gives you some reference, right? You can even put it a little bit wider. That one doesn't feel right for me. I'm going to do this. But squeeze in, try to feel the muscles on the insides of the legs engage. Ooh, try to sit up nice and tall too. And then release. You can move that. If you're using a prop or your gear, then you can move it away. We'll bring our legs out in front of us, turn the soles of the feet toward each other, back up so you can see a little better, inverting our feet. So you might feel this on the outside of the ankles, outsides of those lower legs, and then we do the other. So we point out, soles of the feet outward. One more time on each. Woo. There we go. I have a little slippery shoes here. And then out. And then come on back. We'll press our seat down into the chair, lengthen up. We can hold onto the chair. We're going to bring our legs out and just kick them up and down. Point those toes so that you feel a little stretch along the tops of the feet or the tops of the ankles. Or if you're like me, maybe some cramps in the feet. Oh, that's what's happening now. So just notice and then stop, and we'll bring them out and in and out and in. So kind of, and this one is the kind of the muscles that we were just working on, but a little more dynamically, right? Getting them working while we're moving. We're also really needing to use the abdomen. You can always sit back in the chair if you're feeling strain in your low back. And come on down, shake it out, shake it side to side, pat it, rub it. Okay. I'm going to slide off to the right side of the chair. Engage this front leg, bring that, that outside leg back. You want to feel a stretch through the thigh and the hip flexor. So we were just engaging them, right? Now we're stretching them. We're still engaging them over here, but they'll get their turn. Then we want to press the seat down, lengthen up. You can bring one or both arms up, or no arms, right? Because we've got the strengthening, the stretching, and the lengthening here. And that's the most, all of those are the most important part. But some people like to do this. This looks like our warrior one. Then we release the arms down if they're up, bring everything back to center, shake it out or pat it out if you need. Then externally rotate this one leg, because we're probably all in different on different positions here, and send that leg out, right? The leg that was just back is the one that goes out. We're trying to reach and stretch to the inside of this bent knee leg. Pressing down, lengthening up, bringing the arms out. You want those shoulder blades to come in toward the spine and down toward the waist. And then you can look out over. One thing to be careful of here, and it happens to me a lot, is my foot goes one way and my knee goes in the other way, but you want everything kind of aligned. So that may mean that it doesn't go as far out as you would like. And that's okay. You want it in line more than you want it out. You can bring that back hand down, lengthen through the side, and then if you want, you can bring your arm up. But if you see, my arm up, my arm down doesn't change how much I've lengthened through the side. Then we bring the arm back down if it's up. We bring everything back to center, always shaking it out, patting it out if you need. Okay. We'll move over to the other side of the chair. Engaging the leg, that front leg, bringing the back leg back. Guess what? It may not be like way back. Your knee may be pointing down to the floor. All you want is a stretch through the thigh and the hip flexors. You get more of a stretch through the hip flexors if you rise up, right? So going back is nice, but that's not the most important part. It's that lifting up, that lengthening, finding expansion. If you want, you can bring one or both arms up. If your arms are up, bring them down. And bring the leg back forward, shake it out, pat it out. The knee that was in front, that leg externally rotates, and we send the other leg out. You know what? Sometimes we get cramps here. Move your leg forward, that's okay. Or maybe your leg doesn't go completely straight, that's fine. We just want some expansion, right? Some lengthening through the inside. Press down, lengthen up. We want those shoulder blades in and down. And then if you want, the arms can come out. You can look out over the front for our warrior two. Bring the back hand down, lengthen through this front side. And then if you want, you can extend that arm up as well. If your arm is up, bring it down, bring everything back to center. Now we get to do this standing up, of course, after we shake it out, pat it out. If you got any kinks or things that are holding on to tension, then let those go. We put our feet down on the floor, we press down, engage the legs, and keep pressing down to come on up. If you want to repeat it sitting down, that's fine with me. Yeah, you do what is safe for you and what is right for your body. So now if you're standing, you'll stand next to the chair. If you're seated, move off to the right side of the chair. We bring that inside foot forward. Everyone brings that outside foot back. Again, doesn't have to be way back. We just want to find that stretch up through the thigh, the hip flexors. We bend the knee, lengthening up. If you want, you can bring one or both arms up. Remember, if you're sitting, it's the same thing. We're strengthening this front leg, stretching that back leg, lengthening up through the torso. Same thing. So now we're going to do a little something different, though. So you can bring the arms down if they're up. We want to bring that back foot forward a little bit. And then come up on the heel. I'm going to turn, but you can stand right by your chair, okay? I just want you to see what I'm doing. All right? And holding onto the chair just with this outside arm, we reach the arm up, or you can just lift the top of the head up, right? As we straighten the legs and then come on down. Now, if you're seated, you're not going to come up off your chair probably, but you might feel like you come up like a millimeter, right? Just pressing down with both feet. You just want to feel that engagement and come on down. That means we're feeling the same things. We're feeling these up, down sitting muscles, right? That we're working those. Good for fall prevention. And then we'll come on back, right? So this is how you are. And we'll come over to the other side of the chair. Finding that strong position. If you're seated, move off to the side of the chair. Standing, bring your foot forward. Everyone brings that outside foot back. Standing, you still need to bend the knee. Pressing down with this front foot, lengthening. If you want, you can bring one or both arms up. If your arms are up, then bring them down. We're going to bring that back foot forward just a little bit. So seated, you might want to bring it forward just a little bit, depending on how far back it was, or it might be fine where it was. We bring that outside arm up and we're straightening the legs. We bring it down, we're bending the knees, right? We want the engagement to be in the thighs. So if you're feeling it in your knees, that probably means you're going in front of your toes, and you don't want to do that. You just want to go kind of straight up and down. I'll turn so you can see again, but you do not need to turn. And seated, you're not coming up very high at all, but you can feel the engagement. Believe me, I do when I'm seated and doing this. One more time down. One more time up. Come back to center. Taking a breath in. And wow, releasing it out. So now we'll do that walking, that forward and backward empty step walking. So Gail will usually have you have your 2 chairs or your chair and your wall. You want to make sure that everything's clear. So I'm going to take this out of the way so it doesn't trip me again. Okay. And making sure that you have your chairs next to you, looking straight ahead. When we walk forward, we do heel toe, heel toe, heel toe, trying not to look, trying to feel. When you get to a place where you can no longer feel safe, then go back. And that's toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel. Trying not to run into things behind you. Moving back and forth like this, feeling the entire bottom of the foot, starting with the heel and then along all the way to the ball of the foot, the toes. Empty step walking. When you go back, you start with the toes and then the ball of the foot, and then bring all the way to the heel, noticing the entire bottom of the foot. One more time forward. And one more time back. And that is something you can do on your own, but always make sure you've got a clear floor and you feel safe. If you want to challenge yourself, if you're like, well, it gets kind of boring, make sure you're paying attention to every single part. That's often enough. But if you want to challenge yourself more, you can do bigger steps or smaller steps. And I think I did an extra one because I was talking and I distracted myself. I maybe did a couple extra. That's fine. I distract myself often. Okay, so now I'm going to move this chair back out of the way. Come back in front of the chair. Find the chair behind me. Engage those muscles we've been using quite a bit. And sit all the way down. We get to stay in the chair now. So if you really want to stand, you can, but I don't recommend it. I think this is our time to start to move into a little bit more ease. You can shake the legs, pat them, or rub them. And then place the hands on the thighs, press down lightly, lengthen up, and rotate. So we already did this, but after the things that we did, we might need to do it again. It's a nice reset. So I like to do it after I've really done something to challenge my low back or the hips. And we'll go the other direction. back to center. Take your hands and your feet. Spread them as wide as you can. So you can't see it, but my toes are spreading super wide. My fingers, you can see, are spreading super wide. And then bring everything in. Squeeze everything in. Stretch it all out. Now, one thing I like to do with this on the next one is add the face, because we never stretch our face. So now when you're squeezing hands and feet in, scrunch up the face, squeeze everything in. And then the best part, as you're spreading it out, spread your eyes, your mouth, stretch it. Oh, don't pop a contact though. One more time, squeeze. And one more time, stretch. Come back to center, shake those hands out. Hold on to the chair, shake the legs out. I do one at a time. If you really like to, you could do both. Come into this strong upward position. Reach your arms out from the sternum to the shoulders, nice and wide, and then wrap around. Notice which arm is on top. Again, that's foreshadowing for later. If you'd like, I sway as soon as I'm doing something like this. If you want to sway, you can. If you want to sit still, you can. If you'd like to close your eyes, you can. Just starting to calm ourselves down. Move into that quiet space. Next time you're back up to center, again, glance down again in case you've forgotten, like I have, which arm is on top. Bring both arms out, other arm on top. And then again, now some people like to kind of go around in a circle. Just make sure you go both directions. I like to go side to side. A little metronome. We come back to center. Release those arms down. You can shake it out or pat it out. Press the seat down, lengthen up, shoulders up, back out and down. Drop the left ear toward the left shoulder or the right. Either way, you're going to do them both, whichever one you want to start with. You want this shoulder nice and that opposite shoulder nice and open. Some people like to bring their arm out or even flex their wrist. Some people like to hold on to the chair. Some people like to have their hand on their lap. You just find the stretch that works the best for you. Then come on back up to center. Roll the shoulders, lengthen up, and drop down to the other side. Make sure that shoulder's open. Position your arm wherever it feels best on this side. Then come back up to center. Lift the shoulders and drop them, but just softly, gently, right? We're in this gentle space where we're starting to move in. As you're lifting shoulders up and down, start to think about something that really, really brings you gratitude, something you're really thankful for in your life right now. Bring the shoulders up, back, out, and down. Scoot back in your chair. Release into the chair. And now that thing that was in your brain that you thought of that made you grateful, for which you are thankful, now take that and bring it right to your heart center. For some people, it helps to bring your hands to your heart center. For some people, it helps to close your eyes. But let your heart center fill up with that sensation of something that you love and are grateful for. As you breathe in, let it expand throughout your whole body. And as you breathe out, let it come right back into your heart center so that you know that it always stays there. And gently draw your awareness back outward, but allow that feeling, that gratitude feeling, that feeling of something you care about, filling up that heart center. Allow that to stay there. But notice the space around you. If your eyes are closed, you can slowly blink them open. You don't want to rush back into this space. When we come up into our strong position, we'll externally rotate the arms. On the inhale, bring the arms up. Bring the palms together, and on the exhale, bring hands to heart center. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you through this chair yoga for fall prevention practice. I hope it makes you feel strong, connected to your support, and also at ease. Throughout the rest of the weekend, may you feel that feeling within your heart center and let it carry you. Let it support you. Let it stay with you, allowing you to be right here, right now in the present moment. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.